Hey yo, G Dash, boy, take your hat off. Fine. This week on Hats Off with G Dash Jones.
Hey, hold up. Woo! Y'all know what it is. Yeah. You're watching Hats Off. Woo! With your boy, G Dash Jones. Hold up. Hold up. Wow. Boom. I ain't gonna do too much. Hold up. Skirt. Shouts out. You're watching Hats Off with G Dash Jones. That was Take Care by LS the Artist. Oh man, listen. I had to just start off with the vibes. You see what I'm saying? As y'all know, I always start off with the vibes. This is Hats Off with G Dash Jones. Every week, 7:30. Here's what we do. I get to have a conversation with some of the people who are making changes, making moves, doing different things around, so I can take my hat off to them. You see what I'm saying? I got all the hats in the back so I can take my hat off to them, Today's guest. Today I will be having a conversation with a man by the name of Tre Brown, aka Pyro the Great. Yes, when I say I'm talking to Pyro is he's a published author. He got a new book coming. We're gonna talk about the book, right? I'm taking my hat off to the book. We're gonna talk about the book, okay? Yes, that's Pyro's Pain in Progress. He talk about the Poetry Clique. Ain't nobody messing with the clique. We're gonna talk about the clique. You know what I'm saying? Poetry Clique. Bow. We're gonna talk about the transcribers, right? Yeah, he got a squad. He does his workshops and his famous famous Pyro prompts. Yes. So we're gonna talk about all the vibes in that, right? Boom. Also, right, as you know, I'm gonna update y'all calendar. Y'all know that's how I do. And I'm also gonna, hey, y'all know what it is. Look at him. Yes. And then, of course, as I update the calendar, I also have Tierra here. Yes. And I'm gonna highlight, some of the events there, and I'm gonna tip my hat to some of the things that happened in the past week. All right, man, how y'all feeling?
I am good. How y'all doing?
I am phenomenal. Another day in paradise. Pyro, how you?
Man, every day above water is always a blessing.
Mm,
That's right.
that is
What's
the
going
fact.
on? How you doing?
I am well. How are you?
Like I said, every day above water, always a blessing. This is amazing, and we're gonna have a good time tonight. I'm excited for what's gonna happen.
Absolutely.
Big facts. I like all of this. I love this energy. Energy is so smooth. If somebody likes some incense, this is what we're doing today. Okay.
He said,
So,
"Like listen, hey yo, crazy."
I love to start off my show with a quick calendar update, right? Especially when I have a poet on here. This is going to be a poetic show. This is just what we're going to do. So I'm going to try to do it. I got a couple of events that's happening within the next week or so. Okay, because it's a holiday weekend. Next week or so, got a list of events. I'm going to run through these events in poem.
Love
Off,
that.
off the top. All right. Hopefully it all makes sense by the time we're done. Okay. Let's see. This is when G updates your calendar. So I'm thinking, I'm thinking before time goes on too long, I need you to get positive vibes in the park. That's Hanif Salam and my man Tim Dog. If you want to know how to perk up your business, then I'm shouting out to Liz so you can get her book, How I Started My Business. Now, what she's going to do is tell you how she started it straight through the cubicle. But if you want to get out, then you need to see that Ladybug Festival. It's an all-female festival, the largest one in the U.S. So you should also may want to listen in so you can smile and grin. And after, me and Pyro are done, then you can tune in to Smoking Pins and you'll see Ramrock and two other poets start to spin. Then again, I get what you might want to do. You might want to come outside to the summer concert series. That's when it's going to be me hosting for Ching Ching Lu. Okay, I guarantee if you want to see all the paintworks behind, then you'll see AOG. How about you go to the art loop down Middletown and make sure that I can really add some background to the mind. Then it would be understated if I didn't tell y'all about how the sunset is elevated. I'm talking about what this gonna get you is properly for your soul while we take you over to the mixer. You know, something light. You know what I mean? Hit them, hit most of them up. I don't think I missed nothing. I don't know if I did. Listen, it's okay.
Nah, my bro, he didn't come to play at all.
Hi.
This is crazy. I need you to turn around and interview you right now instead of me doing this. Like, this is crazy, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, listen. I like to make sure that I can keep people aware of the events, the things that's happening, things that's coming up, as best I can with the show. With that said, that's why I got Tiara here because she got the elevated, she got the sunset elevated. Tell them about that.
Yes. Yes. Well, first, G-Dash, thank you so much for having me on, so I can talk to your folks. But yes, this Saturday, we have the Sunset Elevated Yoga and Mixer. So what it is a elevated yoga experience. The event is the 25th from 5 to 10. So the first portion is going to be an elevated yoga experience. So we have our amazing instructor, Flow with Fee. So follow her, please, FLOW with Fee, Fe. You can RSVP at her website, flowwithfee.com. But she is going to do an elevated yoga class. So there will be CBD and cannabis products available that will help you elevate and relax while you enjoy an amazing yoga class. And then right after the class is over at 7, we're going to flow right into a mixer. So we're going to have Mac Wando on the music for the night. We have our bartender extraordinaire, Miss Maya, on the bar. We're going to have barbecue there from Philly Smoke. And then we'll also have a couple of vendors. So we'll have Infused Treats by Infused. We'll have Kiki's Lemonade, which she does an infused lemonade. Then we'll also have Pure Shaka doing a flower bar for us for the night. So it's going to be a dope night. It is a private location in Chester. So follow Flow with Fee. Flow with Fee _ on Instagram, and then also my business, Tierra Lachey Productions, and we can definitely get you the location. But it's going to be a vibe. And if you don't got anything planned this weekend, this Saturday 5 to 10, come hang out with us. We're gonna have a good time.
Absolutely. Even if you do got something planned, cancel that. Listen, go. go see the folks when you there. Because what you do is because listen, you ain't know you was double jointed till you did the elevated yoga, right? Then you wait, I'm double jointed. You see what I'm saying? You ain't even know your arm could bend that way.
But you can. Yoga is for everybody. Listen, and when you elevate it, then it's really for you. So no,
I'm trying to tell you. Listen, I'm trying to again, you don't even know which way your arm can bend till you elevate it. Okay? You ever say Indian style elevated? Listen, I'm trying to tell y'all. That's what I'm just letting y'all know. That's what they got going on over there. Don't treat yourself, treat yourself. And then they got barbecue, right? So you can go ahead. Make sure that you eat something, okay? Because they got liquor too. They got some stuff. So we gotta make sure you in a good space because it's gonna be rocking. Mike Wando, shoulders is moving. Yeah, even if you ain't got rhythm, okay? Even if you ain't got rhythm, okay? Yes, the heart's gonna be flowing. I don't know why it just fit. It fit, okay? It fit, okay? That's all I'm saying. Whoa, man. Thank you for joining us, Tara. Anything else you wanna let the people know?
I mean, just look out to Tierra Lachey Productions. We're gonna have more events coming up. We have a community yoga that we do, and more events. Also, me, Rare House, and Circus 7 are doing an event called the Check-In, which is around mental health, and just community wellness. That's in July. So definitely Tierra Lachey, TIERRA Productions. Look out for all the events we have coming up throughout the summer.
Absolutely. Y'all gonna make me do yoga. I haven't been yogin for a long. I don't know if that's a word or not, but every time I say something foolish, you just see Pyro hand do this.
He like my bro. Yeah.
I'm just okay. Y'all gotta judge me if I ain't yogin in a long time.
You know what? And we want to encourage the beginners and also to encourage our men to get more into wellness. Yoga's for everybody. So, if you're a beginner, if you've been doing it a while, everybody's welcome.
Okay. So I just need one last statement of confidence. So if I'm in the middle of Yogin and then my back just clink clink, y'all ain't gonna laugh at me because I don't want to
laugh at you. No,
because it might
we're
get
not
stuck.
gonna laugh at you at all. We're gonna keep on going, and you're gonna get yourself together. We ain't gonna laugh at you.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm
Listen,
gonna
because
laugh
mine
at you.
might crack with you. Let me just say that.
Okay, okay. It'll be a group situation.
Yeah.
I'll need to stretch. Yes, I do. Thank you so much for joining. Yes, everybody
Thank you.
needs to go ahead and get that elevation on. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the
All
fact.
right, y'all.
All right, see you. Oh man, good times, good times.
My thing is, why you just gonna tell on me? Like, I'm just over here trying to like stay in character, you know what I mean? You over here cracking me up, like you can't do this. Like,
Listen, because it's easier to hold the laughter in when you're Yogin.
yo, that's crazy.
Word. I don't know if that's a word, but it should be. There has to be a word for when you're doing yoga, and that's Yogin. Like I was
So,
joking
so
yesterday.
Philly says this is a virtual yoga class. I might need to laugh. Got a second, man. Listen, if it was virtual, I absolutely would be up in there. Y'all gonna hear my back sound like the crunching of apples. Yeah, yeah.
I don't. They do. I do know people do virtual classes somewhere. I've never
Yeah.
myself, but it sounds legit. So
It's in Chester. So I don't know where Chester is, but it's in Chester. So we
Chester
out.
is in PA.
Oh,
Chester is
Chester,
in PA.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
I might have to take a trip out to Chester, PA.
yeah,
I gotta definitely come up there.
yeah.
I've always heard Chester is beautiful, so it's like I'm definitely gonna take a trip out there. So
Listen.
Chester, PA.
Make sure you know who you call somebody first. Maybe get you in the right spot.
Nah,
All
for
right.
real.
With that said, but first, right? Because there may be people I don't know where they at. I don't know where they from. But in case people don't know you, right? I don't know who those people would be, right? Because seriously, because Pyro the Great, you know who they don't know? They don't know Tre Brown. They know Pyro, right? They know
Yeah.
Pyro because Pyro had Pyro's on his umpteenth book. He been writing, okay? Pyro been writing, okay? Shouts out to Canvas on Amazon right now. Go and get yourself one. Pyro has a whole clique of folk that write together. He just starts giving out Pyro prompts. So listen, his prompts is so um are so famous. They got their own first name. They call Pyro prompts. Anytime your prompt got a first name,
Nah.
it's a different vibe. And that ain't got and then we talking about the transcribers. Now, the fun fact about the transcribers, that's just one poetry group that you're a part of, because you also did something, got something going on with Black Chakra too. That y'all been putting on virtual workshops and things like that. See, I be paying attention. You know what I'm saying?
That was Black Noise.
Like
And
noise.
if I could have the time to even talk with Black Chakra, I'd be lit.
That's
But yeah, Black Noise and we did a workshop called Silence on Fire. He's on tour right now doing this thing. He has a book out, which is absolutely phenomenal. So I'm like, you know what? While he out on tour, I'm doing a Pyro poetry workshop. So it's gonna be lit. It's free for anybody that wants to, come through from 9 to 11. It'll be on Microsoft Teams on June 4th. And it's gonna be amazing from 9 to 11. We get to break down your poems. I get to teach y'all.
Wait. Hold on. And I hate to do this to you, but I need to make them care about you first. Like, if they don't know you, they gotta know how dope you are. So we gotta let's slide it back. Let's slide. We gonna get to the things, but let's slide it back. Okay, first tell people a little bit about who you are before we
About
invite them.
me. All right, so I'm Tre. I am from New Britain, Connecticut. Yes, it's a real place. Where's New Britain at? It's in Connecticut. Where's Connecticut at? In New Britain. So, East Coast, and I'll be real. If you guys know where New York is, we're like right under New York. So it's like Connecticut, New York, New York.
This is a messed up question, and I'm sorry, I have to ask it, but I'm here now. Is it closer to ESPN or Hernandez? That means it's close to ESPN. Head out to New Britain. It's safe in that spot. That's the safest.
So Bristol, where Aaron Hernandez is from, is 15 minutes away from where I live. But his school, ESPN is closer. I just can't believe you brought that up. That is crazy. Well, yeah, I'm from Connecticut, home of the Huskies, home of the undefeated Connecticut Sun. Um, yeah, the football team in Connecticut sucks. But hey, look, the women's team and the men's team, you know, we went back to
You
back with the
calm?
men. Yeah, I mean, UConn. When you think you can't, you con. Um, yeah, I'm 31. I got 17. This is gonna be book 17 that's coming on Juneteenth, which is gonna be lit. I've been writing poetry since I was 8 years old. Before poetry, which is always going to be a part of me, I'm a drummer, a singer, you know, deep in the church roots. If you know, you know. I've been producing now for like the last 3 years. I got some joints on iTunes. I'm even a part of Tracks Up Productions with a song called Talk to My Demons, where I did the poem on that. And so far, numbers is numbering. They're doing great. Yeah, I am just a loving guy, God-fearing man, and yeah, my biggest poetry inspirations, right? Because everybody loves to know, you know, how did I start to fall in love with poetry? Well, my mother, she always took me to the library, and I was just reading books, like reading daily. Like you couldn't stop me from doing any of the reading challenges. Actually, one of my classmates, Miranda Phil, she and I, we know each other since third grade. She's my classmate. She'll tell you, like I was always in the library doing those summer reading challenges, never missed one. Um, and bruh, I gained a lot of knowledge. And I fell in love with Langston Hughes, Tupac Shakur, James Baldwin, um, County Cullen, Henry David Thoreau, Emily Dickinson, Shel Silverstein, even Dr. Seuss. You know what I'm saying? So I found out that he was using racist epithets in his series, you know, with Cat in the Hat or whatnot. And then, you know, getting older, I started listening to Tupac, Notorious B.I.G., Most Def, Rakim, and, you know, this generation, J. Cole and Kendrick. And now, looking at these poets that I see, I am just honored to witness the works of Black Chakra, Brandon Leak, you know, the first ever winner of America's Got Talent that's African American and a poet. You know what I mean? Sean Williams, Junie Speaks out of Vallejo, California, who's absolutely remarkable. Kiana Pearl, Jada Luciano. And then here I come. You know what I mean? And I'm on Clubhouse and I interact with people like Spit Raw and Nick Austin, also known as Bars, Lady Siren, Symbolic Night, Kenneth something from out of Baltimore, Maryland. You know what I mean? And Artie Fox, who just popped in. Like, I've watched them and I've seen the work that they've done and how they are unashamed to be the poets and the creators that they are. And yeah, poetry is not just a hobby for me. Poetry is my life. So that's who I am, and I just love it.
Okay, having all those influences, like to me, that is dope, right? And I can see where it was kind of the art was poured into you. Now, but there was a moment when you said you went from reading the poetry to being a writer of the poetry. How did you know that as a writer, like you know what, this is my calling. I have this in me. This is something that I'm meant to do.
Well, like I said, like when I was little, reading it, you know, reading is fundamental, and I was like, yo, if they can do it, what's stopping me from not doing it? So I literally picked up the pen and paper, and after watching this movie and reading the book, The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton, I wrote a poem called From Night to Daybreak when I was only 8 years old. And it got published in my elementary school's news article that they did. I rewrote it in high school and got it published in the Muse, which was like the school's literature newsletter. So that was like the first time that I ever was published. So yeah, since then I'm like, yo, this is something that I always just wanted to do. And when I got to college, that's when I really like skyrocketed and did a poetry competition. And then when I did a talent show, the first piece that I did was called Light at the End of the Tunnel, where I talked about my trauma, how I felt like people at college hated me, how there was a young lady who told me to kill myself and all that. And I knew from there, you know, because I seen that same person come to me with tears after hearing the piece, and they were like, "Yo, this really hit the soul for me." So I'm like, I knew right then and there, this is something that I really wanted to do. And it just became a part of me and never left. And that's why it's so easy for me to express myself, to create, to write, and to just be Pyro. Y'all get me in every single poem. Y'all don't get a man who talks about things that ain't true. All the poetry that I create is 150% true. I may use different metaphors and alliterations, but everything that I create is real.
Okay. Now I'm curious. So
Let's go.
once you start performing, once you get into this space, right? What was it like the first time that you got on that stage? How did you know, and what made you? Were you comfortable that first time, or was it like, yeah, you know what I mean?
Man, I'm like, who's this skinny person dressed as Farnsworth Bentley doing all up on stage? Like, I'm like, bruh, I literally was nervous. But then it was like I got comfortable after I prayed, and I'm like, "Oh God, if this ain't what you need me to do, let me know, and I'll slide out." But he was like, "Nah, I need you right here," and that's when I was able to really get comfortable being on stage, and that transcended to me being on stages, versus like whether it's virtual or in person. I had my first feature, like my first ever feature in 2015. And it was for an event called Grown and Sexy Poetry. Now, mind you, I never was a feature before, so I didn't know how that worked. And a poet by the name of Tamani Rain took me by the hand. She was like, yo, you're dope. You show some promise. Keep coming. You're going to be all right. But when you do this feature, don't be about anybody else. Be about you. Because your words are going to either be forever etched in their hearts or discarded. And from that moment, I was able to kill that feature where I'm going to the big leagues, like Poetry in Connecticut, you know what I'm saying? And featuring there, going and winning a competition where I featured with Steph Marie Cole for Talk Your Shit Poetry. And, with DJ Academics being the host for that. And I'm like, I bet I could do that. Somebody was calling me. My bad. Somebody was calling me. And I'm like, yo, like, this is how I knew that this was the direction that I needed to be. This is where I knew that this is where I could just fly and soar like the eagles do. And when I get up on that stage, I'm nobody. I'm not even Pyro when I get on the stage. I'm Pyro after the poem is done. But when I get up on stage, I'm Tre. And Tre comes ready to eat. Tre comes ready to leave no crumbs on the stage. Even if I stutter and slip, I come ready to go to war. And when I do, when the poem is done, I'm like, yeah, Pyro, remembering why I am who I am.
Wow. See, I would have thought it'd been the opposite of you get into your performance mode, and that's when Pyro come out. But it's more so when you get into that performance mode, that's when everything is stripped down, and that's when Tre come out.
Mm-hmm. Because once I get comfortable, that's when the fire come out. And I love to be uncomfortable to get comfortable. And that's something that I've always just picked up, is like doing it in excellence. Like, yo, you've got to be uncomfortable to be comfortable. And when you're in your element and you're in your focus and you're in that zone, that frame of mind, can't nobody break you or make you except God. And I'm like, yo, that's what it is. So when I go up on that stage, I act nervous. I get nervous. I am nervous. But then as soon as I know the direction that I'm going, I'm locked in. And that's when Pyro comes out.
Wow. Okay. So now, a shift because now we all on the stage. You setting the stage on fire, but right now you're at book 18 coming up.
Book 17. 18 is
Book
coming.
17.
18 is coming. I'll let you know what 18 is coming, but it's coming soon. But yeah, book
Oh,
17.
but we're coming on book 17, which tells me that the amount of writing that was done leading up to this. There's a lot of writing. Like, so book 1. That's how
Let's
it goes
talk
all the
about it.
time. Book
So,
1. How did that book 1 happen?
so long story short, I had lost my sister back in 2016. I was in seminary school, And this friend of mine, who's like my big sis, Tamara Robinson Taylor, was like, yo, you got so much incredible poetry. You need to put out a book. I said, well, how can I do that and I don't have a publisher? She said, you can self-publish your work and get your royalties. Don't let nobody sell you short. So before Amazon took it over, it was known as CreateSpace. And the title of my first book was called A Soliloquy to My Past Life. And I'm going to be real. The poetry in there was good, but it could have been better. Then I built up. I got a joint called Poetry. Then my third book was called From Heartbreak to Happiness, where I collaborated with a friend of mine named Low-Key the Poet, who I'll be battling next month. We're doing like a going catalog for catalog in person. And that's going to be a crazy show. My fourth book, Seasons. Then I did Love Poetry. Then I did, let's see if I get all these titles off the top of my head. I'm going to try to do this. This has never been done before. Love Poetry. And then for her heart only. And then I got a joint that I did the Black Marathon, which was like my revolutionary book. And that went crazy. One of my favorites is one of my favorites because I really spoke out. It was like my version of To Pimp a Butterfly, and I loved it because I finally spoke up and out about injustice. Then other titles that came out was like The Moment My Heart Spoke, Tre, which was an acronym for Truth, Revealing Everything. That was my worst project because I had so many fragments in there, and I'm like, bro, I'm looking at this like, bro, I just sold myself short. But the poetry was good, but I could have improved better. Then here comes joints like Canvas. Here comes Homage to Home. Here comes A Divine Melody. Here comes Dreams of Tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Here comes I did a couple other joints too. And now we're at book number 17, Pain in Progress. And this is honestly, if J. Cole was a poet, this will be like Friday Night Lights in poetry form.
Wow. Okay. So out of those previous books, do you have a favorite one out of the previous one?
The previous, I'd say my top 3 would be, I would go Black Marathon 3. I would go Canvas 2. And then I would go Dreams of Tomorrow, number 1. Because Dreams of Tomorrow, it was such an amazing body and beautiful collection of work. I literally didn't take my pen off the gas for that. And it's like I wrote this, I composed this book from my heart, and it was like people really like understood who I was because of Dreams of Tomorrow. And you saw the vulnerability in that. In Black Marathon, you saw the revolutionary. That's why, like, when you have people like Bonita doing like the emancipation piece I love, she is the reason why I can confirm and affirm why Black Marathon will always hit different, because I'm really about that life. And then Canvas, I was in a bad relationship, and Canvas came about, and I broke it like it was like a diary. And it was absolutely, I think, an amazing body of work because you got to see me in different layers. You got to see my entire essence of me on a canvas. You know what I'm saying? And canvases are not just for paintings. It's for your poetry. It's for your songs. It's for the novels that you'll end up writing. It's amazing to have a canvas. If you don't have a canvas, you don't have nothing. Everybody has a canvas. You know what I mean? Like, your body is a canvas. You know, you make it what you want it to be. You can either make it art, or you can just make something that you can just leave in a tag store. And that's what I chose to do. And those three in particular have really they're just my favorites. But yeah, this one, Pain in Progress, though, all I gotta say is buckle your seatbelts.
Well, before we dive into that, I do have one more question about those previous. Was there one that was hardest to write?
The hardest to write, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna have to say Dreams of Tomorrow was the hardest to write because it was so vulnerable, and I'm learning how to be vulnerable, and that's honestly a confession to myself because there are times where I was always like closed off. I always felt it was hard for me to confide in people, because people will love to take your trauma and give it to other people as gossip and use it as a way to manipulate and cause situations that you even know about. And Dreams of Tomorrow allowed me to get extremely, extremely vulnerable. Like in this one, oh yeah, and then the other title, it just came to me. It was These Tears Tell Half the Story. That one is also, I put there like the top four. These Tears Tell Half the Story. Like I said, I was in a bad relationship, so it was like These Tears Tell Half the Story, Homage to Home, and Canvas is like a trilogy for that, which led up to A Divine Melody, which was like my religious poetry book, all religious poems, no cursing, none of that. And then Dreams of Tomorrow, it was like the icing of the cake with vulnerability. And that, like I said, was really hard to write because, who would expect Pyro, the man who could use metaphors and alliterations, to really just be vulnerable? Like, you're seeing a soft side of him. And that's why it was the hardest to write. And I teamed up with some poets in there that helped fit that. Like Benita's in there. Shout out to Benita Poetry. Mari's in there. Ashley White is in there. Um, this joint has some things in there. And it's like Dreams of Tomorrow helped Tierra Nicole's in there too. If y'all know who Benita and Tierra Nicole are, they do Cypher Sundays. I call them the female version of Earth Gang because they just feed off of each other. And I love how they just work together. They help me to continue to do what I do. But yeah, Dreams of Tomorrow is the hardest one to write. But this one,
Absolutely. And by the way, in case y'all don't know who Tierra and Benita are, go back and watch my previous episode because they've been on here too. You know it. So you can watch. They'll tell you because Benita got her book out too. It was a whole conversation. We
yeah.
talked.
And
Yeah,
make
I
sure
mean,
y'all go get that too, because Benita, she is a poet's poet. I read it. She was like, "Yo, I need to send it to you. Give me your feedback on it." And I told her I might have to block you because there's so much fire in this. Like, who are you and what have you done? Like, I had to step my game up. But shout out to Benita, man. If y'all know, Benita is just a real one. Tierra too.
Benita, Tierra, Ashley White, author. Ashley White got her own book out too. Yeah, everybody right. Everybody creating greatness. Now,
Real.
to you, greatness.
Yeah.
For your greatness, sir. I asked you. I did such a deep dive into your previous books because my question comes into this of how'd you wind up getting into a place of creating this book? What took you to the pain and progress situation?
Well, I was actually inspired by a song that I heard called Pain in Progress by a singer out of Sacramento, California named Brandon P. Um, on his EP called Everything Is Better, live EP. And that title just kept ringing in my head. Originally, I was going to call this book The Songs of Pyro. But then it was like, after talking to God and after going through a situation that I was going through, I needed to do something that really just hit different. You know what I mean? Like I need to create something that hits different, that gives me the ability to release, to talk about it, but to release it. And then those words came to my head, like pain and progress. Like you can't have progress without pain. You can't have pain without progress. So it's like after having those conversations, like conversations with you, conversations with Benita, conversations with my family, I'm like, this is gonna be the one. And it's the fact that not only am I writing all these poems, I got people from the Poetry Clique involved, and it's like, yo, we want smoke too. We want to be a part of this too. And I'm like, okay, cool. And it's like, like I'm just so in awe about how this project's coming together. Like I hit you up and I was like, yo, I need you to be a part of this project. And you saw what I sent. Pyro is on something different now. Like y'all gonna see Pyro in a different light. Y'all gonna see the vulnerable Pyro, but y'all gonna see the Pyro that's ready to go to war. And y'all gonna see Pyro lead the troop in this one, you know? And not only that, y'all gonna get Tre. And a lot of these poems, y'all gonna get Tre. Because Tre is always, he's there, but it's like he's absent. But now he's coming out in full form. So you're gonna hear the crying, the yelling, the upsetment. And there's another alter ego that I have. and his name is Mayhem. May all your haters embrace me. And and Mayhem, he's the battle poet. Like, he's the one that he's gonna hit you with heavy bars. He's gonna hit you with those things that here with that will hit different, like the double and triple and the quadruple entendres. Mayhem is something special. Like, you're gonna see Mayhem in a joint called Ode to Hip Hop, The Foundation. Y'all go see Mayhem and a song for Easy E where I took an approach from Tears for ODB by J. Cole. I took a whole approach. Like I said, this is a poetic version of what Friday Night Lights would be in poetry form, with a little bit of the overly dedicated and a little bit of Section 80. Y'all gonna really see Pyro in a different light. The fact that I got new poets that I'm working with, like I got the Rising Geniuses, who's one of my dear brothers and dear friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's gonna be a part of this project. He got 2 pieces on here. One of the rappers I'm right by himself. I'm like, yo, I'm not even gonna touch this. You just do what you do. But then we have a collaboration called Forever 22, where we paid homage to one of his friends that passed away. Then you got Evan Harrison, who is absolutely a remarkable individual. You got Tati the Sunflower Poet. You got A Dream. You got G-Jones in this project. Like, this is going to be, when I tell y'all, man, this is going to be the best body of work. And Tiff, I need you on a poem too. Like, whenever you're ready, I need you. Y'all going to see this book is going to hit different. And it's the fact that it's dropping on Juneteenth. And how did I come up with that date? I said originally it was going to come out on Cinco de Mayo. But then I'm like, nah, I don't need to do it on that day. And I'm struggling. I'm thinking, I'm thinking, when can I drop this book? And I need to drop it on a day that is significant. I need it to hit on a day that shows, yo, I'm here. And Juneteenth is when Pain and Progress is going to come out.
So, well, that's that being a day of freedom. I see where you're going with that, but I have to ask: 16 books in, what to you separates this from 1 through 16 in your mind? Like what makes it different?
It's the fact that I'm involving people that I respect and love in this process. It's like with Dreams of Tomorrow, I was only limited. I was like, yo, okay, I got a few people that I'm going to work with, collab with, and then after that, I'm just going hiding, and I'm going to just have only probably 1 or 2 poets just work with me. And then after that, just do one more final poetry book and then retire from it when it's all said and done. But then I'm like, yo, after thinking about it, this book separates me from the other ones because, yo, I got people that have the same amount of fire as I do. I got people that are Pyro beyond my name of Pyro. Like, Tiff Talks is one of those people where if you listen to Tiff speaking and doing a poem, you immediately are just shaking your trip because you don't know what direction Tiff is going to take you. You know what I mean? You got people like you who could just freestyle a poem off the top of the dome. You know what I mean? Without no hesitation or no regard for human life. You got people like Bonita and Tierra, and you got people like K Lo, who is, if y'all know who K Lo is, the brilliant K Lo. She's somebody who we met on Clubhouse, and it's a fun fact. So the name Pyro came from a poetical play that we did called Clique. And Pyro is one of the bad guys, part of the Killer Kids. And I'm like, yo, like that's gonna stay with me. Like, I'm Pyro. Like, and Kalo and I have been tight at the hip ever since. And she writes so efficiently, so prolifically. And I'm like, yo, this is who I gotta connect with. Like, you got people like her that's gonna be in this project. You got, like I said, you got poets who didn't even know they were poets in this project. And that's what separates this project from everyone else because, yo, the love is there, the respect is there, and you got people who can tell their truth without feeling ashamed about it. So that's why this project separates from all of them. Like, there's no project that's going to top Pain and Progress unless I drop a part 2.
So here's what's
while that's so deep to me, I'm actually curious. What made you, when thinking about this, say, you know what? I want it to be a lot of collabs. I really want to invite, like. Why was that a part of the process?
Because everybody has to have pain before they can progress. Everybody has a way of releasing. So if I can release and I can do it poetically, who am I to stop other poets from wanting to release too? And that's what makes, like I said, this book so important and so special. It's because we as poets, I see a lot more poets beefing with poets rather than actually taking the time to work with poets. And it's like, yo, you even look in the industry. Yes, we may praise the rap beef of Drake and Kendrick, but what would happen if there was no beef and they actually got along and actually built each other up rather than tearing each other down? You know, and that's not gonna say I'm not Team Kendrick because you know Kendrick my boy, and not like us is a pop forever. I don't care. But the point is, it's like, yo, if we're supposed to be the community that pours into each other, that embraces one another, that supports one another, then why are we dying before we even get to the cup? You know what I mean? Like, yo, it's like this. If poetry is supposed to be the hospital, right? Then why are people dying in the waiting room just to get into there? And that's why I said, yo, I know who I want to be a part of this project. I don't care about your style. I love your style. Your style is your style. I'm not going to change it. I'm going to write to it and adapt to it. And if it's a poem that needs to be standing alone, I'm going to let it stand alone. And I'll do my own thing afterwards. And that's why this project makes it so easy for me to say, yo, I got features. I know I could count on Benita to go this way. I know I could count on G Dash to go this way. And y'all going to see everything is balanced. And that's why this joint, I'm trying to tell people, Juneteenth, pain and progress, it's gonna hit different.
So I'm curious.
Go ahead.
What was it like to curate all the different styles and all the different writing styles to put it in order? Like, to me, I'm like, I feel like that would probably be one of the hardest things to figure out the flow of it all, because you have so many different types of energies kind of pouring into this work.
Well, it honestly came from a lot of prayer, and it came from me mapping out the direction of where I wanted to go. Like, if I have an idea and I know that's where I want to be, that's the direction I'm taking to get to that. You know what I mean? Like, for example, when I'm outlining right now, Pain in Progress, right? I'm looking at these titles and I'm like, okay, I could put this one here, but nah, I don't need that one there. I need this one here. And I know that it works because of the simple fact that there's a whole system behind it. Every poem goes in to each other. And there's little gems and nuggets from each piece that you'll see. Like, there's gonna be a couple skits in this. There's gonna be love poems in this. There's gonna be heartbreak poems in this. There's gonna be uplifting poems in this. There's gonna be every single thing because you cannot have progress without pain. And you're gonna see the pain and you're gonna see the progress. You're gonna see the progress, you're gonna see the pain. You also gonna see the reflection. So every single one of these pieces coincide with each other in some certain way. And that's why I was able to say, yo, y'all have different styles. Okay, I can adapt to that. Because I now know where I could put these pieces so that they mesh and they grow together. And then when that happens, it skyrockets. Like, for example, we'll let y'all in on a little secret. I got a joint that I did called Silk Ambiance, which is going to be a deep and vulnerable intro that sets the tone for the entire book. It's going to be deep. And then right after that, is Kingdom. And Kingdom is such I think this is one of my favorite collabs. I'm not saying that just because I'm on the show. But the reason why I think Kingdom is one of my favorite collabs from this project is because you push my pen. And I'm reading it and I'm like, yo, how can I recover from this? So I had to literally sit there and I literally finished it today, right before the show. And I'm like, yo, this is exactly the direction that I wanted to go. So when you read Silk Ambiance, you're gonna hear the bars, you're gonna hear the love, you're gonna hear the pain in that. But then it always transitions into the second piece. And then from right then, it transitions into joints like Muse Part 2, Butterflies in B Major 7, which is a dedication to my best friend Brianna, who is an amazing person. She has a book out called The Etymology of a Butterfly. Um, she's a Harvard graduate, and she has a company called Salt, which does workout gear. Brianna Williams, one of my dear best friends, mother of two, son and daughter. And I was like, yo, I want you to, I want to do a poem about you, if that's okay. She said, yeah, best friend, I love you for that. So then, I got joints in there like A Poet's Pain, Risk It All, which is based upon the song Risk It All by Usher and Her. Double Standards, because y'all know how double standards be. Like, double standards for women, there's some double standards for men. You know what I mean? Like, there's double standards. I got a joint called I'm Ready. I Declare War. Don't even worry about it. Wipe them tears. Like, the joints in this thing is going to be so... I Am Him is going to be in there too. Y'all gonna see how everything flows and works together, and it's going to be, I'm telling you, bro, they don't know what to expect when this drops.
Yes, yes, yes. See, I'm excited for it. It sounds like just such a beautiful energy. Now, I did it this way on purpose. Did things this way with this interview on purpose because you wanted us to do Kingdom, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have never. Fun fact: I've never done a written poem on my platform before. I've never done a written poem from me on my show. Nah, because because I end the show with "Give Me a Word," which I'm still going to do the improv joint at the end of the show. But because we're talking about the book now, and you said, "Hey, can we do you wanted to do the one from the book?" Well, you the guest. If that's what you want to do, I ain't gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. In my brain, I almost said no. I was like, I don't do that. I was like, you know what? It is dope. And then I'm gonna tell you what was my icing on the cake. Now the world, y'all don't understand this because what happened was when me and him was talking, he said, "Hey, I'm gonna send it to you." I didn't receive it. I still don't got it. So I don't know what his half of the poem sounds like at all. So to me, I'm like, that means it's supposed to happen this way. Like that means this is exactly how this moment is supposed to go. So
That's crazy.
I guess without further ado, you want to do Kingdom now?
Let's do Kingdom now. Let's do Kingdom now. You started, Brody.
All right. I'm thinking. The kingdom that has been delivered does not need to be conquered. If you want it, you must take it, claim it with honor. Expect to defend it against those with none, in addition to some partners who claim to have some. They don't add up to your equal, so subtract. Balance the equation. When the math isn't proper, oddly enough, it won't even out. Expect to be the one for your kingdom. You are the sum of the sun, even when the clouds are out. Prepare to shine. Just know there's a moon that can raise the tide and flood the kingdom if an eclipse causes darkness to fall before your eyes. Watch the path so you cross when you have people to lead. The Psalm of Pyro says, deliver love to those in need. Those are your peeps. Even characters from Kingdom Hearts have heat. Bestow them the skills, or skeletons will be burned in your streets. It's not easy to lead, but please don't deny your gift. As some are delivered to the kingdom of heavens, you may have to sign for packages. Now, before you claim your kingdom, take a lap, assess damages. Make sure your king's court is made ready to manage it. Equip your queen to adjust your crown and the heavy head that handles it. Be the king you're destined to be. Hopefully, you've inherited patience, discernment, and fairness. Pray the Lord does not forsake the kingdom for kingdom's sake.
A man who knows God knows the kingdom is at hand. So be on guard. Be ready to protect what's yours. You don't need to defend yourself, even when you're right. Not everyone you connect with deserves access to you. You can't give someone a blessing they're not ready for, even if that blessing appears to be you. You gotta stay 10 toes down, fired up and ready to go. Be on guard. Be aware of the ones who will call you. Be aware of the ones who call you your friends that are connected to your enemies. I remember what Nipsey taught me. If you look at the people in your circle and you don't get inspired, then you don't have a circle, you have a cage. You'll be stuck in a daze, trapped in a maze, amazed at how the ones that they said they wouldn't do you like that did you like that. The world is going to test you. The ones who say the least in public will be in private doing the most, but don't let their ignorance make you forget your crown, royal. Be bold, royal. Every presence doesn't require your presence. Remember that you're golden, royal. Do you not know? Have you not heard? God is near, and if God before you, who cares about who's against you? You're the light, so no, you can't be a darkness. Just don't be afraid to shine. Don't let the traumas of yesterday steal the joy of your today and your victory for tomorrow. You're not bound by your past. You made it out. Hard times don't last forever. They can't take your freedom. They can't control you. They can't destroy you, because no weapon formed against you shall prosper. They can try to kill the dreamer, but not the dream. They could try to cause you more damage and pain, but they'll remember your name. This is a Psalm of Pyro, chapter 152, written with G. Jones on our pursuit of happiness. Two kings who have been bestowed the crown. Watch how the haters tremble and fall, succumbing to crooked smiles. God did, has done, and will do. Anyone born to him will be brand new. I got power. I got dominion. Now watch me as I take my throne and rule my kingdom.
Woo! Woo! Listen, somebody gonna read that and charge. I don't know what they're gonna charge. They're gonna charge like they're just gonna they're gonna just run deep into Walmart or something. Like that is that we just wrote the theme of Game of Thrones. Like this is not like I
Run
think you
deep into Walmart is crazy.
well, because you don't do that type of behavior in Target. You know what I'm saying? Like clearly, we are talking things that will incite, just rage room behavior in modern day Kmart like atmospheres. Like I need people to like this. Oh man, like, whoo, this is if anybody is curious what Kendrick read before he wrote "Not Like Us."
Nah, for real.
He wrote. He read this right before he wrote Euphoria. It's not my fault. I didn't cause the beef. They should have uplifted each other, but they was reading this, and it felt like he was going to take over a kingdom.
Nah,
Okay. Yes, take over a kingdom. I don't know why. Okay, that was powerful. Oh, that was great. Okay, now, this leads me to my world of the next question into this.
Okay.
Right, because that was dope. I'm glad I got to hear that. That was okay. Sorry. Anyway, I'm having a moment. All right, so I didn't read it. I just like to hear it now. All right. Now, okay. So just to go back, this book is full of collaborations, but it feels like your journey in poetry is full of collaborations. Like between the Transcribers, the Poetry Clique, like you're always working with other poets. So how did you even how'd you even get into let's say the Transcribers? How'd you wind up in that space of being a part of a group?
Yeah, man. So the Transcribers is an amazing collective of amazing gifted poets like Oso, Brother Bear, PJ. I'm always gonna claim them, which is Adriana, Braithwaite, and there was one other. Miss Winter. Miss Winter. She obviously, honestly, just one of the most amazing people to ever contact, to ever be, around, associated with. And one day they was planning an event, a poetry event called Scribe Night, and I was like, "Yo, I want to be a part of it. I'll send y'all my work." And how can I be a part of the Transcribers? So they had a whole meeting. I had to send poetry, send audio, and it was like, yo, after careful consideration, we want to make you a part of the Transcribers. I said, let's get it. I have books out, you know what I'm saying? I'll let it be a part of y'all. And it was like, yo, let's do it. They went through my work, and I'm like, I felt at home with them. And my audition, as you would say, to fully like be into them, like into the group was, yo, I had to get on stage first. And I did a joint called Praise Be the Black Queens that had everybody on the edge of their toes. I did a joint called Light at the End of the Tunnel, which was, like I said, that college piece. And then I finished it with a love poem, because I like writing about love poems. And it's like, yo, you really part of us. So since then on, The Transcribers has just been doing a lot of dope things. We've had several scribe nights in New Haven. We're trying to get ourselves on the road to come out, because when we come out in number. And how did the Poetry Clique start? So I am also the founder and the creator of the Prolific Poetry Collective, but due to some unforeseen things, I had to step down, and they're doing amazing. It started on Twitter with them, and they're thriving. They're doing great, and I'm proud of them. But the Poetry Clique was birthed out of just saying, hey, I got some prompts. If y'all want to be in a chat where it's like, y'all could just get Pyro prompts and we could work together, let's do it. So the first two people that got into it was Tierra and Bonita. And it's like, yo, let's invite them. Let's invite more. Then all of a sudden, numbers started to build. You meet people like Jewel, K-Lo, UG Dash. We had Black Noise in there at one point. We had Cliche Cheek in there, Luscious Beauty in there at one point. We have, like I said, Mari, Shy Milan, also known as Miracle, the Radiant Poets in there, Black Sparrow, Tiff Talks. Man, there's so many people that's in this chat. And it's like, we add people. And this came together. It's like, yo, like, let's do something where we can actually build community together. We share our stuff. Ashley's in there, you know what I'm saying? We share what we're doing, our lives, our anything that we're doing that's creative, so that we can pull up and support Instagram lives, Facebook lives, all that. And we have really just built community to the point where, I'm proud to announce that on June 1st, there'll be an official poetry page for the Poetry Clique. And I will be naming the person that's going to run the page, get everybody to follow it. I'm going to have access to it, but I'm going to be naming that person very, very soon. That's going to be taking charge and getting poetry out there so we can all promote each other's poetry. And I'm going to do lives on there too. So Poetry Rhymes and Vibes will be going live on that page as well with different hosts. So if you're interested in hosting an open mic, you know what I'm saying, a virtual open mic, you could do it. Just let me know. I would love for you to be a part of that. But you got to be a part of the Poetry Clique to host an open mic. And I will say this. My goal will be to compensate the host. I don't care if it's like 10 people. I don't care if it's 2 people. The fact that you took the time to do that, I believe you deserve to be paid for it. Because it's one thing to host a platform, but if you are going through something and you need something financially, who am I to stop you from, handling that? So I want to be able to compensate the host. I feel like hosting open mics ain't for the weak. It's a lot of work. It drains you. And yeah, like my goal is just to give poets a space where they can just shine, grow, thrive, all that. So if you're interested in being part of the Poetry Clique, if you're interested in being a host for an open mic that I do monthly, bruh, tap in with me. Let's talk. Tiff, need me for a feature, let me know the day, time. I'll make that happen as long as I'm in the green. I don't care. I'll be there. Like, I'm serious. And my goal, and I take this so seriously because I'm like, yo, I see poetry cliques, like cliques itself. People that thinking that, hey, I write better than you. I can do double, triple, quadruple entendres. And there's one person who just doesn't have, you know what I'm saying, like that big of a crowd. But when they get on stage, they know how to move you. So I'm like, yo, I create the Poetry Clique for the ones that are silent all the time, that feel like they have to be in other people's shadows, where they're like, yo, you got a safe place here, a safe place to land, a safe place to work, a safe place to create, and a safe place to be yourself without having to look for people's approval or cosign. And that's why the Poetry Clique was formed. And that's why I'm part of the Transcribers, because now we're out here doing things, and bruh, it's just amazing.
Wow. So, and now again, in case y'all don't know, you were watching Hats Off with G Dash Jones every Thursday at 7:30. I got my man, the myth, the legend, on book 17, Oh man, I would run out of breath trying to say all the things that he did. And if you just tuned in, I'm sorry, you missed one of the fire. Like we just did a thing. We did a thing. Anyway, but with that said, listen, I gotta make him feel bad about it. So, okay.
You do, because that was crazy.
That was crazy. It's okay. I'm gonna clip it up. The world gonna watch it another time.
Nah.
But now when you looking at your work with the transcribers, right, doing in person, and then saying, okay, well, I want to make this impact on a virtual stage as well, and making this impact on the virtual stage along with the workshops that you do. What's out of the different ones when it comes to running workshops versus writing, right? Whether it's the book or anything like that, versus being on stage and performing, or even virtually performing. Do you have a preference? Do you have a something that you like to do the most?
Honestly, and this may sound strange, I like, if I had to rank them 3, 2, 1, I'd say 3 is performing on stage, and I'm explaining why. 2 is doing the workshops, and number 1 is writing. Here's why. Here's
Really?
why, right? Can I be completely transparent?
Yes,
So,
please do.
the reason why I put performing on stage at 3 is because, 1, I like to eat, and I like to, have me a little glass of wine, you know what I mean? I love to do that. And I love to perform. However, I love to just sit there in the audience and just watch people do what they do. Like, I love to really dissect words and dissect everything. But I'm like, yo, you still need me to feature? What up? Hit me. I'm down. But that's like my least favorite because I really love to enjoy others. So it's like if I were to have like a late feature and be like, all right, we're gonna have like 10, 15 poets go on before you, and then you're gonna go on, and then we got 5, 10 more after you. I'm gonna be more excited to hear them than for people to hear me. And that's because I love for my light to shine after I see them shine. And that's why I put that at 3. 2, workshops. Love the workshops, but sometimes the one thing that I have like trouble with is like, yo, I could hear a poem that's like dope, and I'm asking question on top of question, and I'm like, yo, I gotta get to the next poet. I feel bad, and I feel bad if I can't get to everybody and I run out of time. But I love the workshop because it gets me the ability to be able to sit down with everybody and connect with them and show them things and give them opinions and give them an understanding from a different perspective, from like a bird's eye view. But I love writing. I love where I can just put I got some JBLs, y'all. I don't care. They're noise canceling. Put these on. Calling me. My bad. Put those headphones on, and I'm writing. I'm in my zone. I'm in my pocket. I'm going crazy. I'm connecting myself to God through silence. And there are times where I literally just put my headphones on, don't listen to nothing. Because my Angelou once said, like, yo, in silence, in the quietude of silence, you'll then be able to hear the voice of God. And then that's helped me to be able to write the poetry that I do. And then, I bumped some J. Cole up in there, a little Big Crit, a little B.I.G., a little Tupac, a little President Davo, rest in peace. And also, I listen to my local artists as well, too. So, like, you get to really see and hear all that once you hear, literally hear my poetry. So, yeah, writing number 1 for me.
Wow, that's deep. I wouldn't have rolled the dice on that, but I'll take it. Okay, and that also kind of lends me to understand kind of the purpose of the poetry clique in even in its expansion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Into making it its own world, because there are shouts out to Origin of Poets, shouts out to LBJC, shouts out to Ramrock,
Mm-hmm.
like there's a lot of good poetry groups that are doing the thing, right? And I can see that you're like, hey, well, you want to kind of add another lane for those who may be less heard, or for people who are trying to build that up. Correct? I believe that's what that is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I see Voices in Power, DTL Poetry, Charm City, Poetry Party. Yeah, I mean, I love every last one of them. What's the Galaxy of Poets? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've seen all of them. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I want to give something that can really give poets who don't have the opportunity to really say what they feel the chance and the opportunity to just do it. And that's why I created the Poetry Clique. And it comes from people who are used to being silent, but not realizing that their voice and their writing is a weapon to destroy the silence. And they don't have to be in silence by themselves. They have a safe place to just let loose. So that's why I created the Poetry Clique. And it's like, yo, it's open. There's no biases. There's no beefs in there. The moment that someone is, feeling uncomfortable, we talk about it. You know what I mean? We have that heart-to-heart conversation, and we address it, and we come up with solutions to make sure that everybody is safe and comfortable. Because I don't want to have anybody in a group that's, uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And what I learned is, you have to surround yourself with people that have the same goals and the same aspirations as you. And if one's lacking, you got to help that person, or that person going to fizz their way out. But me, I'm the type where I'm like, yo, if there's 100 sheep and 99 right here and one is going out, I'm going for that one. Because I know that 99 is going to hold it down and be there. But I'm chasing after that one. And that's why Poetry Clique, I already know, I'm speaking it as I'm speaking it as if it already were and already will be. Poetry Clique is going to be remembered to have it one of the safest platforms, safest spaces, and we're going to be able to work with other poets and say, yo, let's collaborate and do like a joint event together in person, or we can do something virtually, have poetry slams, have poetry workshops together and build together, host y'all shows on our platform and be able for all of us to get money together. Because this poetry community, the reason why it's dying is because there's too many people with egos, but not enough efficiency. And we need to be around people that's going to be efficient rather than having an ego.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I love everything that you said. That's needed in this community. Um, I do want to know, in the Poetry Clique, there's a thing called Pyro prompts.
I knew you was gonna go there. I knew it.
I'm just saying, there are people before I found out about the prompts before I found out about the clique, right? And it was like, and these are a thing, like they're a thing. My question to you is, and I guess you can explain it, but what are Pyro prompts, and why do you think that they are so prolific, so polarizing, if you will?
So, Pyro prompts are based upon the name, Pyro prompts. They're fire. Because you never know which way the prompt is going to come. I was inspired by, and I gotta give him his flowers, Nate Sr., an amazing guy. He does a space called Night with the Poet, and it's phenomenal. And he always did on Clubhouse a space called Improv Poetry, where you leave your pens, your notebooks behind, and he gives you a prompt, and you have to freestyle that prompt off the top of your head. And I was like, okay. So now I've gotten into creating my own pyro prompts based upon things that I've gone through, or things that I've seen and things that I've that I've heard. And I'm like, yo, this is fire. So I don't want nobody trying to copy me or saying that they got it from somewhere else. And it's like, yo, pyro prompts. And it's amazing. Like, you don't know, like I said, you don't know what direction these prompts come in. They come in heavy too. And there was like a day where, yo, I'll even use as an example, Cliche Cheek, right? He has grown because of the amount of pyro prompts that he's written to. Bonita, let's talk about her real quick. Bonita and Tierra, I gotta talk about them real quick, right? As soon as they see a prompt, right? As soon as they see a prompt in mind, they're like, okay, I got this one. I got this one. Then when I free write a poem in there, they're like, okay, I'm gonna write a response to this, and craps all over it. And I'm like, bruh, how y'all gonna do that to me when I just gave y'all some beautiful prompts? And I'm like, now that I think about it, this is what I want.
Yep.
And
Yep.
they come in crazy. Tiff be on it too. And I just got some from some new additions to the clique in there. And I'm like, bro, I can't wait to get offline and read these, like off this live and read these. I'm like, yo, this is gonna help me to be able to do something, which is, giving people the opportunity who suffer from writer's block the space and the capacity to write what they feel. That's the only rule of the group. Write what you feel. If you hate yourself on it, talk about why you hate yourself. If you hate Obama, okay, talk about it. Write what you feel. And you see the stories that come from it. And that's how it all came together with the Pyro prompts.
Wow. Yes, yes, yes. As it was stated in the chat, pyro prompts are a huge blessing. That's a fact from words from writers. You feel me? That's literally what they say. It is the thing that keeps people motivated, keeps them going, and kind of it unlocks writer's block. If that's like if somebody's not sure where to go, it can kind of put them in some directions. You know what I'm saying? So it's such a dope thing to kind of see, and it's dope to see the. Is it ever like shocking to see the amount of inspiration that comes from like just the amount of people that be like, hey, you got them prompts for me? You got them prompts, Pyro? I just did a few more.
It's so amazing because I'm like, wow. I wake up and there's like 10 people already writing to the prompts. And they're sending me messages like, yo, I get calls. Like, for example, Mari, my little sister, she'll call me like, yo, bro, I got something I need you to hear. And I'm not going to rest or have you rest until you hear it. And I'm like, okay. Then Mari's like, yo, I wrote to your Pyro prompt. And I'm like, you mother. And it's so fire. And now that I'm like, yo, y'all have my number. If y'all want to call me personally and read the Pyro prompt to me, y'all can do that. And it's like, bruh, the calls that I've gotten, they're like, I'm sitting there like, man, how come I didn't think about this when they wrote it? Like, y'all out here making me look bad in a goofy way. But the point is like, just watching them, watching everybody write these prompts, listening to how they interpret the prompts and going in different angles and directions. I'm like, yo, this is tight. This is something that's gonna live on forever. And the cool 30 for 30 every day just went crazy. And I'm like, how? But the greatest thing about this is that, y'all get that sense of release. You get to talk about what's been hurting you, what's been haunting you on the inside, and now you're able to just take over from there. And they're like, okay, I want to write to this prompt too. Where did it come from? A Pyro prompt. Can I get some more? Okay, join the Poetry Clique. You get a lot more. And they're like, okay, how can I be a part of it? Okay, talk to Pyro. Pyro the Great. Talk to Bonita. Talk to Tierra. Talk to G-Dash. Talk to Tiff. And we build family. We don't just build community, we build family. Wow. And that's how Power Prompts come to be, bro. Like,
that's a fact. That's a fact. So, okay. That leads me to ask, what makes you so powerful? Like, you're very, very passionate about helping other poets. Like, that's literally on your list of things. Like, I feel like you wake up, I need to help about 5 to 7 of them today. Like, why is that such a focal point in your craft to make sure that you can help push the culture forward and help poets?
I think it's important because I've had poets tell me. You know what I'm saying? I've had poets help me. On my Clubhouse days, there was Angel Kim. We started Love and Lyrics together. There was a time where it was impossible to actually get help because people were so secluded in their own groups. You had Purple Poetry Palace, you know what I'm saying? Then you had what's that one? Flourish Poetry Vibes, which is still doing great, still existing. And it's like then you have my boy Michael Matry, where I did Up From Here as his DJ. And from him, Angel Kim helping me, during the time, a poet by the name of Queen Poetry helping me, Mojave of the Honey Drippers, which I'm also a part of, Nate Senior, Tariq Sink Sankofa, one of the most realest poets, one of my favorite poets still to this day. People getting help from like Brandon Leak, you know what I'm saying? Getting help from Tori and Milligan. I'm like, yo, if they can help me, why can't I help other poets get to their next level. It's like, do unto others so that they can do unto you. And I am a living testimony to that, because I'm like, yo, people are doing unto me, but what am I giving? So I'm able now to turn and part and give to everybody else. So like that's why you see me, bringing up like Mari, bringing up Miracle, having a platform where people just come through and just get that help and that healing. And that's what I think about it. I don't do it for bread. I don't do it, to make other people feel inferior. I do it because I love it and I love people. I may have my scars, but I'm still a human being and I got a heart. And I got a heart for the people. And it makes me realize, yo, how can you claim to love the art of poetry when you can't even love the people that also write poetry the way you do? And that's so important to me. And that's why I do it. I don't do it for praise. I do it because I just love people.
Wow. Whew. Yeah, see that somebody crying in the back, it's okay. Go and get yourself a napkin or something, dab. I know he made you emotional. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I just ask questions, people. Listen, okay? Now, I ask people, I ask every time somebody's on my show, right? I ask the same question. I ask this one question because it helps me just because I'm curious, right? If you had to give advice to a younger version of yourself, young Pyro, young P, who just pie, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying? You had to give advice to that younger version of yourself. The caveat is the year is still 2024. What advice would you give to a young Pyro in 2024?
That's a great question. So I'm going to quote lyrics from one of my favorite songs by my boy Nazir Jones.
I know I can't. Never mind. I'm sorry. Stop right.
He said, believe who you are. The sun doesn't even know it's a star. That's the advice I'm giving to young Pyro. Believe in who you are. You're going to go through some things in life. People are going to question you. People are going to put you down. People are going to have their own perceptions of you, but you've got to believe in you. The sun don't even know it's a star. The sun is a star. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the brightest stars in the world. And everything revolves around the sun. So it's like, believe who you are. Believe in the light that you have. You don't have to impress nobody. You don't got to befriend everybody. If you're going to be by yourself, be by yourself. But don't get mad because you're by yourself. Be where you're supposed to be. Stop thinking that you got to live for any and everybody. Live for yourself. Write what you feel. Go crazy. Live your life and be that spark of fire. And when you can do that, other people will continue and do the same thing. Let your light shine for others. And that's as real as it's gonna get. I'll tell little Pyro, you got let's say I'm saying this right now, the little Pyro right now, right? I'm gonna be real. You have 3 more poetry books in the chamber. You have a poetry novel on the way called Before You Cry. After that, you leave this poetry sport, this poetry life how you want it, but don't you ever stop writing. You just help to build the next generation. And don't be afraid to soar. Don't be afraid to get dirty and to get down the trenches. The essence of pain and progress. Like, yo, pain and progress is an open letter to myself. Before there's progress, you got to have some pain. Before there's the sunshine, you got to have some rain. Before you experience becoming a diamond, you got to go through the fire. That's the essence of it. And we'll always remember, you were put on this earth to love. And there's going to be people that hurt your feelings, that call you everything less than a child of God, that make you feel like you're insignificant, that your dreams are far-fetched and beyond your reach. But guess what? Can't nobody break you, make you, except God. And once he gets done with you, you're going to come out as pure gold, and everything that they said about you, irrelevant. So that's what I would tell young Pyro. And I'm actually going to remember this. I'm glad you're going to save this, because I'm going to put this in the introduction for my book. So thank you. Because I just
Yo,
start
I
powerful.
love
I
the
didn't
amount of
expect to say
contributions
that.
I'm a part of this right now. I didn't expect it, but I'll take it.
Bro,
Like, this is beautiful.
I didn't even expect to even say that. Like, God just gave it to me. So I'm like, yo, you know, that's that.
That's what you would have needed to hear. That's what you needed to know. And I listen. It just felt good. It just felt good.
Sure.
So, all right. Now, other thing that I do, because this is such an amazing interview, I tell people, you already know people. You already know. I tell people, you give me a word, I give you a poem. That's how that's how I do. So you can figure out if you're gonna give me a word, maybe you'll give me another poem. I don't know what you're gonna do, but while you think about it, I'm going to do my quick hat tip. I say I do a quick hat tip. Okay.
Yeah.
Today I'm gonna tip my hat to my man Ty Mathis. What? Listen, my man Ty Mathis, if y'all don't know, he got the 1964 fro. He was doing the summer concert series. They make special picks for artists. He was out there just getting funky. Shouts out to Ty Mathis and City Fest and everybody a part of that summer concert series. They was rocking out. Also, quick hat tip. Joe Bellardo is on It's Business Time with Canopy Crow Productions. Go and check that out. Y'all don't know. Listen, Joe, you owe me an interview too. You should know that you do. But shouts out to you for doing it. So shouts out to Aaron Poole. Shouts out to Canopy Crow Productions, Delaware Music Network. He out there just telling y'all what we trying to build. Delaware Music Network, trying to make sure people got all the things they need as new artists to kind of build themselves up. So listen, it's business time. The fire interviews, shouts out to them. J Notes at Icons book anniversary. Yes, shouts out to J Notes. That was fire. I pulled up. He had a lot of artists. LL Hots there. He had Harvey Road. My man D Harv at least was there. People was really kind of just in a great vibe. They had food. I got myself a shirt. Listen, it's the anniversary of his book. He's a poet as well. I'm proud of him for being able to put that book out. I told you I was proud of you to your face, and I get to say it here too. So shouts out to you, J Notes, for putting that together, and everybody at Icons, J Vix as well, and your child for having a birthday there. It was a whole little event, so shouts out to them. Also, the Lyric Lounge. Gotta give a shout out. A quick hat tip. Blip, blip, to the Lyric Lounge. Now, okay, I know what you're thinking. I'm only thanking them because they gave me a shirt. Okay, you give me merch, I'm wearing it. I don't know what to tell you. You give me something, I'm gonna wear it. Now, but no, I also was there. Okay, Latoya Marie killed with them vocals. Gotta go ahead. Gotta give her flowers. Frank Bateman walked in singing like Tank. Maybe I deserve. He didn't sing that song, but he was better. Like the man had vocals. The man had vocals and big arms. I was like, okay, we just gonna do this. Like we just gonna do this. Like we ain't have to do it like that. The man was up there. Listen, there was underwear flying at his face. I'm lying. It didn't happen that way, but it sounded like it could have. Okay, the way the man sang, it sounded like it could have. Listen. Oh, also, Shay B was up in there with her vocals. When she did Almost Doesn't Count, there was 4 or 5 breakups. This just happened. People were just getting dumped because she was singing Brandy. It was amazing, people. LS the Artist. My opening song today was LS the Artist featuring Deuce. Shouts out to them. They was up in there. I didn't ever seen Bubble Coats and Harmony. They was rocking. They had harmonies and bubble coats, people. Like when I say, like I didn't know you could hit the harmonies with the bubble coat on, and they was up in there just harmonizing with the bubbles. It was amazing to me. Phenomenal artists. Everybody's up there with Fire Soul Synthesis was getting there. Tavion didn't even hit nobody with an elbow. It was a great time. Shouts out to everybody there. The food was delicious. Shouts out to Joe Shira, aka Serene Beans, was the bartender for the night. Angel at the front. Let's listen. So shouts out to everybody with the Lyric Lounge. And again, thanks for the merch. You know it, because if you give it to me, I'm gonna wear it. So, okay, and It's a Blessing. If y'all don't know who It's a Blessing is, she does a show on Tag. I was on it, you know what I'm saying? I pop in on a weekly basis. I already like show her some love because she be looking out as well. So that was my quick hat tip. Blip, blip. I said a quick hat tip. Blip, blip. All right.
Yo.
Yeah. Anybody you want anything that you want to give flowers to that just happened or coming up or something?
Man. All right. So first off, all glory to God. Thank you for everything. You know what I'm saying? Always just amazing. I want to just shout out everybody that tuned in. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Hopefully I ain't overtalk y'all. Y'all finally get to see and know who Pyro is and what Pyro is about. And I'm glad. Shout out to UG Dash for giving me this opportunity. This was amazing how everything just happened. And I'm just excited for what's next to my bro, the Rising Geniuses. My little bro is about to open up a business. You know what I'm saying? A business that teaches STEM, which is STEAM, and it's gonna be amazing. And I'm DJing his grand opening in Springfield, Massachusetts on May 25th. And then he's gonna open up his business, the Rising Geniuses, on I think it's June 10th. June 10th. He's opening his business. And I'm excited for that because I'll be participating in that too. Like I said, Pain in Progress is coming on Juneteenth. It's gonna be an amazing body of work. And shout out to the Poetry Clique, you know what I'm saying? I can't wait, and I'm going to just put this out there and in the universe because I can definitely do that. You know what I'm saying? And that is the Poetry Clique. We're going to come out with our own anthology. We've been talking about it, and it's time to be about it. You know what I mean? It's time. The time for talking is over. It's time to be about it. And when I tell you this is going to happen, it's going to happen. And when it happens, it happens. And yeah, y'all gonna be able to follow us on our official Instagram page, which will be launching on June 1st, 2024. And I am excited for that. And yeah. Oh, and one last thing. It's okay. I got something new I worked on. But for this show, like particularly, I got something brand new I
Oh,
worked
hold on. Because I said, well, maybe you give me a word, maybe you give me a poem. But I just needed, I'm just giving the shouts out right now. But we absolutely, we gonna do that. And I'll be remiss. I got to, because you reminded me. I train a class with Launcher, and I do a Launcher episode once a month. By the way, shouts out to Launcher. I train people to do their work on their business plans, their business,
on.
and their graduation was Tuesday. Shout out!
Let's
Listen,
go.
yeah, Aubrey, Charlicious Desserts, deliciousness. Shouts out to them. Shouts out to Aubrey with his hauling business. Shouts out to Christina and Shauna, both with the life coaching businesses that they got going. Shouts out to Denise. Listen, you're gonna get the jewelry, right? If y'all don't know, I need y'all to go ahead. It's gonna be that brand, that ginger brownie. Go and get your jewelry together, people, together. And LaMonica's doing is going to do a home health aid business. So I got to shout out to all of my graduates. My man Eric is doing sync licensing. If you need boom, you want to get your sync licensing, boom, we outside. We even got a whole launcher directory. So I got to give a shout out to all the graduates. I might even repost my speech. I put it on Facebook. I might put it on here too.
Oh,
They got me the hat,
let's go.
So my classes fly when they can pick something that's out. You feel me?
Yeah,
So I had
bro.
to give them that. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
With that said, you got a word for me? We want to do a piece? What we doing?
I mean,
How
I
we?
can give you a word, and then I can just do the new joint.
How about you do? How about you give me the word and then do the piece? I'm gonna make the word go with the piece. Then I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do a thing. I'm gonna do it.
Okay. So your word is gonna be centered around this piece. The word is muse.
Okay.
Muse. So this is brand new. I wrote it just for the show. So this is Muse Part 2. I was once taught a muse can ignite an artist's imagination, whether through conversation, shared experiences, or simply their presence. One can obtain the ability to create. That's when it hit me. In order for me to construct the masterpiece, I don't need anyone but you. Yes, I need you. I only want you to be my muse. This revelation was inspired by the very first moment I heard your name, and I knew that you could bring this spoken word to life. When I think about you, writer's block becomes an inanimate object. There's nothing too hard to think about when you're the main subject. If this were a movie, you'd make the perfect protagonist, and even the villains would have to sing your praises because you're more than just richly coded melanin and magic. You know how to make the sun shine even when a thunderstorm arises. The ground fights with the earth because of where your feet set. The angels get into debates and fights because of how beautiful you are. God looks at you, takes a glimpse at you. God looks at the world, takes a glimpse at you, and smiles knowing how perfect he made you in his image. So be my muse. I won't mistreat, abuse, or misuse you. I'll take my time. I'll craft portraits of love from staring into your eyes, sing you songs that resonate to your spirit as I kiss your lips. I'll never get tired of adoring you. You'll be fully utilized and never taken advantage of. You hold value, and I want to cherish it for as long as I can. That one day, my son will take this poem, pass it on to his queen, or my daughter will transmute this piece into a celebration for her king. Then I'll look at you. You look at me. Beaming and radiance, knowing our legacy is building something beautiful because of you being my muse. Pyro.
I'm thinking. Like, okay, I'm sorry. I was supposed to think of something, but she's not here right now. Like, okay, and I know that when she's not around, I get a little scared of how these things are going to sound. So hold up, I gotta close my eyes. Okay, now I could just visualize everything from my eyes to lips to thighs, and now I know why my spirit has started to arise. I get it. Sometimes her spirit just needs to be here, and it's under the guise of whatever she tends to spray around. And it's like, I can smell her when she's not around. It's like sometimes when she's gone, my spirit is lost, and it just waits around to be found. That's what she does now. I know how this may sound. This may sound as if I need her to find the proper words. I do. Because if I don't have those proper words, then all of a sudden at the sight of you, now all of a sudden I know how to move. It's like you surprise me with a thought process that I have not yet to see. It's like you pop up on me with love-filled strategies that tell me how it's supposed to be. It's like something about the essence of your presence that simply breaks me down to my knees and makes my pen my second to main squeeze. I'm sorry if I only write when I need to cheat. See, this is just how it's supposed to be. It's like, oh, I'm getting a little high pitched, but that's what happens when she seems to excite me. It's like, this is what it's supposed to be. Okay. Please don't be too confused with, like, I just started thinking and thinking that most of the time I say give me a word, but now I don't even need to choose. I love the moment when I can stare into the eyes of you and just get lost, don't even need to think. It's like before I even get a chance to blink, everything about you grabs my spirit and my soul and starts to sink. It dives in deep, and I'm like, sheesh, like, please, nobody save me. I want to drown in everything that you have. I want your past to be the past. Like, it's something that we had to move past. I want everything that's in my future to look like you are a part of it. I want everything that you do to look like a puzzle in which I'm made to fit. I want it to feel like, I'm so glad this is Mike's last album, because this is it. Like, I need you to understand that that's how this is supposed to sit in my lifetime, in my lifestyle. Like, everything that is my life without you just looks so foul. Like, why are you even not around? Like, I need you to understand it's something about how your silence seems to sound. I want to do nothing together. And I want to do that forever. I want to just feel like, as long as you're here, I mean, I was good before, but when you're around, I know I'm better. Like, I want you to be a part of the life that I choose. I want to not need a pen in my hand to know that what I'm writing is because you are my muse. Home.
And that's G dash bleeping Jones.
And that's Pyro the bleeping great. Right? This was just bro.
Nah.
That was a
man. And I need to just say this, man. Yo, you a love king. You already know. You already know the vibes. I can't wait. And I will be starting my podcast soon, The Love Above. G-Dash gonna definitely be a guest on there. I can't wait for that. Because the same way he asked me questions, I can't wait to ask him the same questions, but on a different level. It's like, bruh, I can't wait. This is amazing. Shout out to Deep Thought, the lyricist. Another one another. If y'all know who Deep Thought the lyricist is, y'all need to know Deep Thought. One of the realest ones. I can't say nothing bad about him. That king defines what it means to be a king. So salute to Deep Thought the lyricist. Always just supporting, always just encouraging, and you never know what you're gonna get in poetry from Deep Thought. That's what it is, deep. So yo, thanks so much for having me, Brody. For real, like I appreciate this. This was amazing.
Yes. Listen, thank you for joining. I'm glad that I get to be a part of your journey. I'm glad that I get to open people up to the world that is Pyro. Deep Thought, you are on the list. So I hope you know that you on the list to be a part of this world too. This has been an amazing episode. If y'all don't have it yet, please go ahead and cop Pyro's Pain and Pleasure.
Pain
It
and
was coming.
pleasure.
You don't have it yet. I'm sorry, Pain in
Pain and
Progress. That
pleasure.
was 50 songs album. My
Now
fault.
wait,
Listen.
I could listen. I could do something with that. I could. I
If I
could.
supply Pyro with a prompt, I'm winning in life. If I give Pyro a prompt, okay, I am winning at life. Oh, I'm here for it. Again, this has been an episode of Hats Off with G Dash Jones, featuring Pyro the Great. And also shouts out to Tierra for joining earlier, and and everything that they got going on with the elevated yoga vibes. So y'all know what it is. Again, as I like to always say, love yourself first, and everything else will fall into place. All right, I holla.
Holla.
Hey.
Peace.
Woo.